When I was 14 years old, I stayed up late every night trying to be the perfect student. Because I think if I get a perfect score, then everyone would see me as someone who is valuable. And one time, I got a 98 on my exam. My teacher smiled at me and said, "Well, you did a pretty good job, but where are the other 2 points?" At that moment, I smiled. But inside, something shifted. I began to wonder, am I more than my grades? And that even pushed me to question something deeper. Are we being measured by who we are, or by how well we performed? We live in what's called a meritocracy, and that's a system where people are judged by their achievements. It sounds fair, like everyone is running a race and the fastest wins. But what if someone has better equipment? Or what if someone is carrying heavy backpacks? So the race isn't as equal as it seems. And in this race, our self-worth is often tied to our results. So today, I want to challenge the label of the lost generation by asking, are we truly lost? Or are we just tired of running a race that we never chose? Psychologist Carl said we all wear a persona, and that's a social mask you put on to fit in. In meritocratic society, that mask may look like straight A student, Ivy League commit, or perfect Instagram life. French philosopher Michel Foucault introduced another idea, disciplinary power. It's not about rules or punishments. It's about how systems shape our behavior. And every time we're ranked by a score, told to sit still in a classroom, and judged by likes on a post, we are trained to monitor ourselves. Foucault compared this to a panopticon. A prison where the prisoner never knows if they're being watched by the guards or not. And eventually, they start to watch themselves. Sound familiar? Social media is our modern panopticon. We post, edit, and refresh. We're both the prisoner and the guard, performing for an invisible audience. But Jan added another layer, the shadow, the part of us we hide. Failure, fear, and even our weirdest and wildest dreams. But the mask isn't evil. It is a tool that helps us to survive. The danger is when we forget we're wearing it. When we say, I am my GPA, or I am a lower count, we shrink ourselves into something less than human. In South Korea, students call themselves exam zombies, alive to study. And in Finland, teens embrace sisu, a way of living that measures inner values more than outer achievements. So, no matter where you live, the pressure is real, and so is our desire for authenticity. Jan said, growth isn't about destroying a shadow, it's about accepting it, acknowledging our weaknesses, and finding our true selves. French philosopher Jean-Paul Sartre suggests we aren't born with a fixed identity. We become who we are through our choices. But we need to be aware of bad faith, which means living by others' expectations. So meritocracy pushes us toward bad faith. It says you're only as good as your GPA, and you must find a job that looks impressive. Don't take risks, what if you lose? But what if we say something different? We say, I didn't get a perfect GPA, but I spent time on the things that give me joy. I don't care if my job looks impressive enough. I care does it have meaning to me. I'm not just a teenager. I'm someone who is still becoming. The real rebellion isn't loud. It's about becoming a whole self. And Jan called the journey of finding our whole self individuation. It's not about being perfect, but real. And that's powerful. Because when we embrace our shadows and our masks, we find something deeper than competition. Foucault showed how systems divide us with grades, ranks, and likes. But when we embrace who we truly are, we find something deeper than competition. Sheer humanity. Now think about this. A student has a lot of study pressure but still chooses to feed stray cats downstairs every day. A student has a lot of work to do but still didn't give up his dreams on art. And a student who has chosen music as his major even though it takes more risks than usual. You, me, all of us, refusing to let a number, a label, or a title define who we truly are. The more we understand each other, the more we understand ourselves. Authentic relationship lies in mutual recognition, seeing and being seen as we truly are. Authentic relationship is not just only about sharing success, but sharing our imperfections together. When we drop our masks, we invite others to reveal the true selves too, thus creating a space of trust and meaning. As that suggests, only in the gaze and freedom of the others do we fully encounter ourselves and become the co-creators of meaning. Finally, they call us the lost generation. We say, we're not lost, we're still becoming. And every time we question the mask, every time we want to embrace the shadow, we find something real. Let's stop asking, what are we achieving? And start asking, who are we becoming? Let's trade the exhaustion of imperfections on the road to authenticity. Because the world does not need more successful robots. It needs more human, messy, curious, and gloriously unfinished. And that's us. Thank you.